Welcome to the webinar. This is a shorter webinar than I have been teaching over the last couple of weeks. So I trust that you're here on the other side to get a few more nuggets before you take the leap of faith. So I'm not going to keep you very long. I'm going to do my best to make sure that you walk away informed before you decide, well, is this for me or is it not for me? Would that be okay with you? Well, welcome to this webinar where I get to unpacking my journey. I've written a book, as many of you already know by now. If you don't know, you better ask somebody, baby. Just kidding. If you don't know yet, you can go to my website, genevieve-jack.com, and get your free copy. Why have I decided that after writing this book, am I going to gift it? Because in the first 48 hours, when I allowed a free download, I was literally gobsmacked by the amount of people that downloaded the book. And if I had to have sold it and that amount of people bought it within 48 hours, I probably would have made thousands and thousands and thousands. However, the thousands that I am so happy that I made is the impact of the many people that have actually downloaded that book, read that book, and have contacted me personally. So this is what property investing for beginners is like when you come through to the house FHC consulting. I'll show you the simple method that I used to get started within property so that you too, if you are anything like me, felt like it was a struggle, you felt stuck in this process, and you asked yourself, what am I doing here? Because that's what I did ask myself. As you would have known, I was dragged to the seminar. It felt like it was against my will because at that time we had unsurmounting bills. I mean, they would just go like it made me dizzy. It felt like such a burden on my heart and my soul, thinking, have I come to almost the brink of 40 years old to have lost everything I've worked for since the age of 16? This is crazy, man. What is worse still, when you see bills piling up and piling up and piling up, and you simply have no way to solution that. And it's until I went to the seminar and I heard no money down. So my thinking at that time was no money down. A drug addict is telling me no money down. And then the little voice in my head said, recovering drug addict, don't be so condemning. So if you've got any of those voices in your head, you are simply in the right place. So I want to ask you for the next few minutes, right? What to do right now is just get rid of your distractions that you may have around you, okay? Get ready to take notes if you choose to. However, I want you to start asking questions. So I want to say to those that unfortunately or fortunately are not on the live webinar, the questions are for those that have already been on the live webinar, right? So those questions, I will go into the chat box ever so now and again and read out those questions to you. Because in the last 2 to 3 weeks, that's what I've been doing, rolling out webinar after webinar. Why? So that I can reach as many people as possible, because I feel like property investing is my gospel, right? So how many people can I reach out to? So here's a question to start off with. What's your why? People who have a strong why are 87% more likely to succeed in business than people who do not. The stronger your why, the more likely you'll succeed. Your why will squash your excuses. So now, in the previous slide, you saw let's interact in the QA field. Let us just go down into the deep root hardcore. Let's not just say yes, 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 because you're acknowledging that we can talk in the QA box. Let's drop our whys in the QA box. Will that be okay with you? You would have found the QA box somewhere around this screen. And for those of you watching the recorded version of the webinar, I want you to sit down now. And this is me buying time for those that are going to update their why right now on the QA box. I want you now to sit down with your pen and paper and you write, what is your why? right? Because you don't have that text box to tell me. So some of the whys, just like you, I'm in debt. Just like you, I want the best for my children. Also, there's a couple of people just like me. I'd like to get ahead in my business. I need a bit more cash flow. I need something a bit more meaningful in my life. Guys, we need to get more specific than that. I want to ask you to get more specific. Can I share with you? Is it okay if I share with you my why? My why was 5 million reasons. That was my joke eventually in the book, that I had 5 million reasons why property investing found me. I had 5 million reasons what was going to wake me up every morning. I had 5 million reasons to get out of a pit. It felt like a bottomless pit. So can we get more specific? All right. All right. There we wonderful. There I'm seeing comments. One of the comments says, Jen, if I could just pay out 3 or 4 niggly debts, I will think a lot more clear. Wonderful. Awesome stuff. If I could get a bit more money in my business, it could sustain my business from going bankrupt. You know how entrepreneurs are. What wonderful. You see now, guys. Do you see now? That is what I am looking for. So if you have got that strong enough why, nothing will hold you back from attaining that particular goal. And like I said, I'm not going to keep you very long. So each time I'm just going to read 2 or 3 different comments, because so many of you that know that we've done this live how many times already? It was it since the 9th? I think it was the 9th. Let me just check my calendar. I think it was the 9th or the 10th of October. We've been doing this at least 3 times since then. Why? So we can get the message out and scream from the rooftop that you too, regardless of where you are, can start your journey. So I want to give you this particular story, and there's so much meaning behind it for me, so that it's easier for me to articulate my story through the story of Roger Bannister. You see, on the 6th of May 1965, Roger Bannister was the guy that broke the 4-minute mile. Now, prior to that, there had been many people, every other person conceivable for decades and centuries prior, never broke it. They tried, but they never broke it. But on the 6th of May, Roger Bannister, I'm giving him new names now, was the one that broke this record. But you see, that's not only the phenomenal bit for me. The phenomenal bit for me is that just 46 days later, John Landy, who's also an athlete, 46 days later, he too broke the 4-minute mile. And ever since then, people in their droves, dozens and dozens of people, since then have broken that record. But you see what is interesting? It needed one person, just one person with belief, just one person to have broken that record for others to believe. And I share this with you to implore that my journey needed, not it needed, my journey needed a 4-minute mile break. And that 4-minute mile break came on the 4th of August, 2017, where officially by then we were in 5 million debt, and we signed an OTP in a joint venture with a fellow student that had money, and we had time to find an opportunity. And the opportunity meaning a property investing opportunity. And we went into our first deal ever in 5 million debt. And that day for us was the day that real estate investing, our 4-minute mile, was broken. That day is also an auspicious occasion. It's my dad's birthday. And that day is also my niece's birthday. So how many wonderful memories, but nothing, I believe, at this point in my life can top off that. Because when you see 5 million debt, you ask yourself, am I really going to get out of this hole? Am I really going to achieve from this space? And my answer to you is damn straight, yeah. Because at first, when I had thought, this can't be done, man. Really? Can it be done? We did our training in December 2016. Our coaching started in February 2017. We would sit with our coach, have conversations, work on numbers, due diligence, do our foundational skill work so that we can analyze deals and see, can this deal work, right? And for 6 months, we were plowing and we were plowing. Can you imagine how many days I woke up with tears in my eyes thinking, are we ever going to be there? Until the 4th of August, when all that we had been working to, negotiating to, sowing the seed to, came to fruition, and we sealed the deal. And this deal, we went in 1,000 Rand deposit. I'm sure on social media you may have found that TJ had spoken about it. If you haven't, go and look for M5 Property Addicts. I can see the chats going, yes, I've heard that one. I tried to understand. I tried to understand how you went into 1,000 in a whole property. Wonderful. And I'm sure that the video would have just been very clear. Wow, I cannot believe that you can pay 1,000 deposit for a property. Us too, like we were like, oh, take the wheel. But this is not really the video is about. But I want to tell you, here's some homework. Go and find that. Write that down quickly. That you're gonna go and find M5 Property Addicts and see the video that TJ spoke about. His 1,000 Rand and the only 1,000 Rand in property. Okay, and that was to solidify all the negotiations to that point and put down a deposit. So yes, I could say tongue in cheek, well, it did really cost us 1,000 Rand and a lot of negotiation. But that was the best 1,000 Rand ever. So I want to challenge you at this moment. Look at what you are wearing and ask yourself, if I tally up in truth what I am wearing and the bag that I've got and the shoes on my feet, does it surpass 1,000? And that's why, to us, 5 million, 1,000, far cry. But ever since then, we've gone into active income strategies that not once did we ever have to put money down again. And that was the day, 4th of August, 2017. And do you know what happened between August 2017 and December? There was an unsurmountable, all the relationships, the stuff we've been doing started manifesting. And I truly believe it's because we prayed through our belief at that point. We looked further than that 5 million. That 5 million for one moment just dropped below our eye threshold, and we were able to see further than that 1 million. A lot of you are agreeing with me, Jen. When we believe, things happen. Jen, regardless of how we believe, I absolutely agree with you. Don't worry, I'm not here to convert, right? I absolutely agree with you. When things shift, it is the most amazing thing ever, because once it shifted, this is what we sent to our coach on the 3rd of December. We shared that these were our achievements to date. Can you even imagine? It took us 6 months to sign one deal, right? Now, August, September, October, November. Because on the 3rd of December, so 4 months later, this is where we were sitting in a residential buy-to-let in Kempton Park. The second flat also in Kempton Park. The Windsor deal that was 65% below market value. The capital flip, guys. The capital flip. We went in with our skill. Our resources was our skill, our talent, and our hunger to learn. And we were able to pair up with people that had the money that didn't know how. And even though they may have gone for training, some of them chose to be an armchair investor, which means they're going to invest from a distance. But others had chosen, they're going to be active, but they were struggling to find a deal. So there is everything for everybody in investing when you are looking for what you are looking for. And this was what we were able to share. In this time, I'd gone into coaching. I was screaming from the rooftop, guys. I plugged into an organization for a short period of time, and we were talking about property education. It was just not the way I wanted to do it, but I respected their vision. I did that for a short while and I pulled away because I felt that my message was slightly different to the world. And my message is really to two types of people. And I constantly say it. The two types of people, whether you're in debt or not, it doesn't matter. Are you curious about property investing? You've got this passion, you want to make the best for your life, right? And the second person is, I started this journey and I'm stuck and I don't know where to. Those are the two people that have constantly walked through my door and said, help me. And this is why I do what I do. When we sent this back to the email, when we sent this email to Andrew, Andrew responded the next day. Good morning, TJ and Jenna. A massive congratulations to you both. You know what is powerful about this is that Andrew knew every step of the way, and so did Lawrence, how much debt we were in. Because who just can make up that they were in 5 million debt? Who can just thumbsuck that we were in 5 million debt? And the one thing that we were grateful for, that within the year of doing property investing, we were able to get rid of our biggest liability, which is the farm. We closed up the farm. We sold what needed to be sold. We worked out numbers to see how best could we move away with profit, but not overcapitalize. And because we had already done that on the farm, right? And when that was sold and things were sold from the farm, suddenly this 5 million debt was starting to come down. And it seemed like, oh, this is working. And then there's a joint venture deal. Oh, this is working. And then there were deals that came through that were more than we could get into joint ventures with. So we sold them. Boom, there's cash flow coming in. I was like, yay! Actually, there was cash coming in, more than cash flow. It was cash flowing in, more like it. So this is why, again, I say, guys, I want to share with you that my goal is for everyone to see this and say, okay, Jenna, you were 5 million Rand in debt and you started investing in property investing. So I'm taking on the 4-minute mile challenge. Can you say that? And why I ask you that question, or rather why I position this to you, is simply to say, how will you use property investing to achieve your next goal? How? Right? Here's the deal. I'm going to make a deal with you today. Once you believe that and you make a commitment, I want you to commit to me that as soon as you know that property investing can help you, that you will take that leap of faith and say, I'm ready to go all in. Is there anybody up in here that can tell your guys? You already know my script. Your so, oh, okay. Jenna was in the webinar last night. Guys, I must tell you, while the others are sharing, last night's webinar had to be the most insane one. You know, when you check technology, everything is working, and then the system froze up on me, and I was like, oh. So this is what I'm thinking. Today is the third one, lucky. I'm recording this one so that I can actually share this with the world, and also by all means to put this onto my website, because I want you to know from the rooftop who you're dealing with. But more especially, back to the question, how will you use property investing to achieve your next goal, right? There are people that say, oh, I'm going to try. Those that were on the left-hand side of the screen, they started dabbling. They kind of dabbled. The ones on the right-hand side of the screen, they went all in. So that's what I'm talking about here, guys. We had nothing to lose. And when I say nothing to lose, I know I joke about it so much, but we had nothing to lose. We already had lost so much. So if we lost 1,000 Rand or even 100,000 Rand, it would have felt like a drop in the ocean. But we decided that we were not dabbling. We decided that we were going all in. And going all in brings me to this particular point in my life where from the rooftop I can scream, that I may be in transition, but I am far away from where I used to be. And that, my friends, is such an accomplishment that I want to share. I don't want you to look at me in a few years to come and say, yo, how did she get there? I already want to scream my message to the world now. Okay? I want people on board with me now to say, we even journeyed some of this journey together, right? So are you going to be dabbling or are you going to be all in? Tony Robbins says this: if you want to take the island, burn the boats. Now, not by any means am I suggesting that you absolutely go crazy with where you are, but I'm positioning this to you. Where you are, your excuses, your reasons, your whatever, can you burn them? Can you set them on fire? Okay? So that you can take the island, right? Now, in this webinar, I'm going to give you tools, tips, and strategies. And I'm going to go through this very quickly because I also want this content to be on my website. Before you even walk through my doors, you already need to know the crazy lady on the other side that you are dealing with. All right? Is that okay with you? Yeah, that's okay, Jen. It's all good. Wonderful. I'm in. I'm all in. Okay, so those that are saying I'm all in, here's the commitment. Let's say this commitment together. Jenna, I commit that as soon as I know that I too can win with property investing, I will go all in. I trust that you said that whether you're sitting with friends or alone. Whether you go all in with me or not, that is not even a thing. Because right now, this is just an avenue where I feel that I can use as a platform to share with people like yourself and people that were like me, thinking I need a lot of money to get involved in property investing. I need a lot of money because the capital that is needed. Guys, I'm just about to tear your world apart. Why? So before we get into the why, the life you want, the relationship you want, the family you want could be fueled by the businesses you build. And my husband and I, for a very long time, were into fueling our businesses. We were into fueling what we wanted. But we fueled our businesses because of research, having conversations with different people, da, 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 da. However, what we did not do was go and get the training that was needed. And that's how we recognize the success between then and now. And I want to say this to you. There are 3 secrets to our overnight success. And these 3 secrets, simply put, is that we learned to leverage other people's money. We got to networking and we found property investors. Okay? But more importantly, we understood the creative finance option of sourcing deals, joint ventures, and how that can get us into a space where we are able to use other people's money to get to a point of paying off debt. So this is my husband and I. This is the book that I was talking about earlier. This year, my husband again has been nominated and is a semi-finalist in the Investor of the Year competition. And I want to simply say this: my entire goal is to get everybody to understand that property investing is not only for the rich. It's not only for people that have gotten an inheritance. It's not only for people that have got some sort of money stashed somewhere. And more importantly, it's not what we were taught all these years. All these years, so many of us have been taught that you have to buy a property supplement, and only after X amount of time you'll get into neutral, and then you will start winning with property. It's nothing like that. And I have got a story, a track record, evidence, deals, and investors to show you that t-shirt. And I've got a coach that can back up everything that I say. Fortunately, I've also got a husband that stands behind me 100%. So he may be biased, so that's why he's lost in the list. And we stand on the on the words shared so eloquently by Robert Kiyosaki, because this is something that we did. We followed his teachings. We read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and so much about what he said. Just we were like, what, what? That became our textbook to life. The latest textbook that we have from Robert Kiyosaki, besides the fake book that he's just released a couple of months ago, is Why the Rich Get Richer. And we are learning those principles. Those are wealth principles. Those are principles that delve deep into who we are. So very, very quickly, I'm going to go into getting started in property investing. Good things come to those who apply knowledge. You can learn until the cows come home, but if you don't apply what you've learned, you are going to be like a car spinning in mud. Your wheels are turning, mud is splattering everywhere, but you are going nowhere fast. Property investing is not a get rich quick scheme. And I want to explain my methodology behind why I share this, right? Many people teach financial freedom. Nothing wrong with financial freedom. My message is slightly different. My message is really about time freedom. And let me define what I mean. So, you know the emotions I had when I got into property investing, right? And those emotions were, how are the bills going to get paid? This debt that is accumulating, how are we going to source for it? So we got into this active income stream, or rather the creative finance on getting money. We sold deals and it came through to us. I promise I'm going to unpack that for you just now, right? Because I don't want you to get lost with selling deals. I want you to follow with me. Are you following with me, guys? Drop in the comments field that you're following with me, because I don't want to be talking to myself at this point, right? Awesome. Yes, Jen, I'm in. Yes, Jen, following. Quite so. Been listening to a lot of what you've been saying lately. Jen, I'm on board. Fantastic. So now, if everyone that's on board already in this webinar and those that are listening to the recorded version of this one, right, I want you to follow my thinking. So here I am in debt. We don't see anything. We don't see anything. And then the 4th of August happens. We see something. Now the debt is here. It's not like it went away. It's still here. But now suddenly we see this creative finance strategy of doing a joint venture coming to play. And when that deal comes to fruition and it's in the conveyancing office, and then, we're feeling like, what is just happening, right? And then all of a sudden, what we've been doing for 6 months starts coming up. There's this opportunity that we put in an offer in 3 months ago that they told us we're mad about. There's a couple of other things that have come through that they said, no way, we can never go for such a low amount. We go back to our coach and we say, Coach, you know, so-and-so came back, and coach said, well, it then means they're desperate. Earlier, they were showing you flames. Show them flames and negotiate down. Go back and say, I don't have that money anymore, but what I do have, and negotiate within reason, because we're dealing with people. What I do have is X amount of money. This is what's on the table. And those deals started coming and coming. Do you see my book anymore? No. So now what is happening? I sell it to investor number 1. I sell it to investor number 2. I sell it to investor number 3. They give me money. What happens with my debt? It's no longer here in front of me. Why? Because I've now sourced for money to start paying off debt in chunks, which then means my stress levels are down. It means my frustration, and I'm like a bull in a China store, is starting to dissipate. It means I can breathe. And now that I can breathe, I can think straight. Now that I can think straight, I now look back at the system that I created. And that system that I created says relationship, due diligence, offer the deal, right? Now I can see what I did. Now I can understand the psychology of what I did. Can I repeat it? And now I start repeating it. New relationships I get into with real estate agents and those that have helped me finding deals, what am I doing? I'm popping. Because now I get creative. My stress level is no longer there because I'm not sourcing for money. I know there's money because it's been manifested and I've paid off a chunk. Imagine when you pay off, even if it's a debt like 7 or 10,000 rand to a credit provider, and they no longer call you forever because you ask them, burn that boat, right? Burn that account, close that account, do what you need to do, but I'm never going to have that account ever again in my life. So now what that's done is created time freedom. I can sit down, I can reflect, I can think about what it is that I did, and now I can source better, right? Now I've got time. Money is coming in different avenues. 4 or 5 deals concurrently. It's going to come in different times. Some deals will take 9 to 12 weeks to mature. Some will take 3 to 4 weeks to mature. So having them concurrently made sense. So that was one income stream. The second income stream is that I'm a training and coaching company. So learnerships from different corporates call me, like Nedbank. I was running a business analysis course for them, for their staff over a period of time, 6 days a month. That took care of another need as well. Second income stream, right? So I'm cashing in on the deals that I'm selling. I am servicing Nedbank and I'm servicing smaller other corporates like this. And then there were some days I found that, today I don't have anything particular to do. And my internet marketing skill was still brewing up inside of me. And so now that I've got time freedom, I was able to get into internet marketing, third income stream. So property investing for Genevieve did not bring the total financial freedom. It opened the door to financial freedom. Why? Because it created time in my space for me to nurture the things that I love. Fortunately, I sit right now, there's joint ventures that are out there, passive income. There's sourcing deals that I do, active income. There is learnerships and those small little trainings that I love, absolutely love doing, another income stream. There's internet marketing that comes. Christmas and holidays are coming up. What are you selling online to be ahead of the curve? So with these 4 income streams, I'm now able to create an income stream to sustain itself. I create a training. Can I offer it at a ridiculously low price and give a value? Yes, because whatever comes in then keeps the service alive. I don't even want to get paid from it, right? When it keeps the service alive, I can create platforms like these to share with you how best you can move forward. Does that make sense for you? Wow, I never saw time freedom that way before. Somebody else says financial freedom. Shit, you whoops. And it says that shit, whoops, you've spun a new way. I mean, it's not a new way, it's just what I've experienced. And that's why I say time freedom for me is more powerful than financial freedom, because it allows me to be me. Because when I'm creating, I'm on purpose. And when I'm on purpose, I can share my message. So do you understand now when I say property investing is not a get rich quick scheme? And also know your financial standpoint, because when you know your financial standpoint, you can set short-term goals, medium and long-term. My short-term was to start working on pockets of money coming in to source and fix up my debt. My medium term, which just happened to be one of the first strategies we did, was joint venture on a passive income. It initially was supposed to be a flip. It turned passive income, because in the life cycle of any deal, things can change. And then long-term. My long-term goal was not always to be in property investing. One of it, yes, was to have a student's accommodation. But one of the biggest things I wanted was a functional online marketing business. So what does it mean to you? That's what it means to me. So here's some pointers. I'm going to keep going quickly. I know we're coming to the end of our time. I'm just about halfway through, but I want to leave these nuggets with you. Know what you want from property investing, right? I knew what I wanted. I wanted to get out of debt. Invest in yourself. Seminars, books, like-minded people, training and coaching. I can already see that you sought out this training So therefore, it's something that you are wanting to do, you're wanting to invest in yourself. Understand that there are different types of property strategies. And in the next few slides, I will give you 2 or 3 tips, and then I'll give you the different strategies, and we will close off the session. Know the market. Right now, you hear the buzz. Oh, it's a buyer's market. It's a buyer's market. Listen cautiously to the experts in the market. Why? Because you've got a very different mindset from a property investing perspective. Know when to exercise which strategy, because by listening and knowing your market, you already know, because property investing, you can invest in any market and still come out a winner. You will know which strategy that you are going after. Know when to exercise which strategy. What structure will you use to buy your property investing opportunities? Meaning, are you going to go in as a person, a business, or a trust? There's pros and cons to each one of these. And last and not least, understand the risks and rewards as an investor. Good, guys? Great. Awesome stuff. I know this is not tip number 1, so tip number umpteen. When you go into property investing, this for me was a mindset shift of note. Okay. You do not need to like the property, firstly. Nor do you need to like the area, secondly, in order to invest in it. What do I mean? You may be staying in the burbs, life has gotten really much better for you than where you come from, or alternatively, you grew up in a lot more of a nicer environment, and then when you see an environment that you may not be used to, you think, yo, I must go there. Not for me. So my statement simply is, you do not need to like the property or the area in which you invest, right? Because there are people out there looking for homes. Some of them cannot afford to go to the bank to get a loan. So what do? Right? Tip number 2, I illustrate this point quickly, very, very quickly. Grab your wallet. And I say take all your distractions away. Grab your wallet. Okay, perfect. You've got your wallet in your hands, right? Nice, pretty wallet, purse, Gucci, DKNY. What was the other one? Louis Vuitton, Nine West. I don't know. Now open it and take any note. And take that money and do this. Smell it. Yes. Money still has value even though it smells. And the property investing tip for today is, you are not looking for the nice shiny object, you are looking for the rundown house, right? Because when you find the rundown house, you force the appreciation up by doing renovations. Now, when you force that appreciation up, you take it from a smelly state to a nice, appealing state. All right. Is that an interesting tip? Jenna, I'll never look at money the same way again. But it's just so true. Some days I just think to myself, oh, this place is stinky. And then I take out money and I go, this is stinky too. But you know what? There's a lot of value behind something that, even though it's stinky, right? Nonetheless, into cash flow strategies, the passive income that I was talking about. Passive income can come by means of a buy to let, meaning you buy a property, you renovate, and you rent it out. People pay you, you pay all your expenditure for that property. Then there's a multi-let. It could be a house with 3 rooms, right? 3 bed, 2 bath, 3 bed, 1 bath. And each room is then rented out to a professional. And it's like a commune style where the lounge and the kitchen and the bathroom is what they all use. And each room pays for itself. A multi-let, simplified version of it, right? And then there's something called a house of multiple occupants, where there is 5 to 7 and even more, like a student's accommodation, like an Airbnb, right? Because now you're almost going into commercial figures. And this is the type of traffic that comes through in terms of your cash flow strategy. So some people, your long-term goal is what you're after right now, but you need to solution something before getting there. And this is what I really want to highlight to many of us today. Guys, are you with me? Sometimes it takes some time to come in with the comments. Perfect. Yes, Jen, I'm with you. Makes sense. I never looked at it that way. Wonderful. I like when I see I never looked at it that way in a number of different ways. Second one, the cash strategy, I always found that it was a flip. I always thought it was just a flip. You buy, you renovate, and you sell. But this cash strategy, I want to merge it with something else very, very quickly. It's called creative finance, meaning I go out and I look for the stinky house. I do my due diligence. I put it onto a proposal and I sell that proposal to an investor that does not want to go into a stinky house, right? And I sell that deal to them. It's an active income, but using a creative way to get the active income. There's the joint venture, which is what we did 4th August 2017. We broke our 4-minute mile. And then there's other times, there's just these armchair investors. They call angel investors, where they invest and they just get their return. All right. So creatively. And there's also different seller finance options, and we can go into that later. So here is all the information that we shared put into one slide. We find a property opportunity. Whether we drive the area, we find a real estate agent, whatever the case is, we find a property. We go to this rundown property. We think, how much would it take us to get this property into functional, right? We'll do all the due diligence. We'll go back and we'll take the builder. The builder will give us a quote. We'll drive around to see what's happening in that street, what's happening, what are the neighbors doing, to tell us the potential of this rundown house. We put all of that information together in a proposal and we sell it to an investor. And very, very shortly, or maybe towards the end of this, I'm going to switch and I'm going to show you a 1.5-minute clip on what that is about. So maybe I'll do that a little later. Okay, a little later, probably in the next 5 to 7 minutes, because I anticipate that in the next 10 minutes, we should say goodbye to each other. All right. But now we're so used to doing property in the way we used to doing, which is going for the pretty. And this is what I say to you, it just takes your time, takes time to retrain your brain. And you ask yourself, do I have what it takes to find property opportunities? What behaviors that are in me now that will stop me from finding these opportunities? What do I need to do with those behaviors? And what would it take for me to be successful in this business? And all I can say is retraining the brain on how to look at what value is, how to see a perceived value on what we've been taught, and all of those wonderful things. And on that note, I want to say, if you want to achieve a success, all you need to do is find a way to model those who have already succeeded. Cliche, but so, so very true. Network with like-minded people. And while I stop the sharing on this one, guys, I can still see your comments. While I stop the sharing on this one, I see that we are 45 minutes into this particular webinar. I'm actually wanting to find that YouTube video where the like-minded networks that I keep talking about. At this last one, which was last week in Soweto, we had gone through, and at this particular event, I was able to position and share my deals with investors. I was able to go and share and ask the investors, guys, this is what I have found. What is it that you're after? And why I want to encourage you with this video is simply to say, when you are following somebody that is doing a particular thing that you want to do, I want to then say to you, go in all guns blazing, okay, so that you too can understand what is it that you need from this journey. So I found the video. It's 1 minute and 38 seconds, okay? So I want to share this particular video with you so that you can see what is it that I was talking about. And when I say find your investors in the like-minded environment, all right, so here it goes. Awesome, guys. Is that not an amazing platform where you are able to go in and you are able to share that this is what I'm looking for, this is what I am after? And that, for me, today is just sharing with you that's what networking with like minded people is all about. And as we're coming to the top of the hour, I just want to then go in and say if there's anything when you are starting a new journey, is plan to win. Don't plan to fail. Because so many times we go into an experience or into something and we say, oh, I hope that I don't fail. Oh, I hope that it looks like X, Y, and Z. So don't so you so don't have failure in your mind, because the more you think of failure, the more you're going to attract failure. When you think of winning, you find that positivity feeds into your mind, right? And I really need you to think about that one. So again, this is the book that I am gifting you today. And if you have not gotten this book, go to genevieve-jack.com and you will find this particular book. I know that at this point, some of you may be feeling like this. We've covered an entire process, a number of processes in property investing. Look, I don't want to leave you overwhelmed. And we all know that you are here for training. So I've put together something that is amazing. It's a special offer. And I'm going to tell you why it's a special offer. Last year, this time, I was approached, Jen, why don't you do training? You're good at it. You've got the skill. You run a training and coaching company. It's a no-brainer. You're really blowing what's in this place. And I was like, okay. But I kind of was hesitant about it. And then I got to coaching a group of people. And from all the lessons I've learned, I'm now sketching some things through. Second set of people I'm coaching, because the first set had big mouth and they share the word. And that led me to May this year deciding for 6 months, I'm going to get a venue that has a small amount of people that can come through into this particular venue that I can teach and share so that everything can be done in an effective way. However, I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to charge something like insignificant for this. Why? Because I'm still on the plank of shaping what the market is actually asking for. And every one of the people that had come through said, there's so much value here. Where are you making your money? And I was okay that I wasn't making the money that they expected me to be making. I was okay. Why? Because I said, in deep rooted in me, I am about value. Am I giving value? And that's what led me to create this one-day property investing boot camp. I call it a boot camp because we meet at 8:30 until 5 o'clock. And we go into so much learning mode because already on social media, on my website, everywhere, there's stuff that you already know about me and you've made up your mind already whether you're going to go with me. And for the fact that you stayed this long to hear about the property, it then tells me that you're one of those people that are going to take massive action, right? In this one-day training, you get key information that's provided to you about property investing, beliefs and failure, and what it teaches us. This is a pre-training video. I've put this together so that you can sit and ponder on what does this mean to you, right? You get it a few days before training so that it already manages your expectation on what is the beliefs that I had and what is the failures that I've had so far. What does it mean to me as a person? Now Yes, like in the yesterday life, I was worried and embarrassed about 5 million debt. Today, I'm so thankful that I could use that failure to really encourage many of you that if she can do it with 5 million debt, Shem, your 4-minute mile, you've busted it already a long time ago. What you will learn in the classroom is getting started in property investing fundamentals, passive income and active property strategies, those that I had mentioned, creative finance and what it means. Guys, that is the biggest heart and soul of this training. Because what I've learned is that the more I'm out there looking for opportunities, the more people I'm meeting, the more different types of proposals I'm putting together, which means I'm exposed to a whole lot more information than somebody that's just looking for a flip, right? I'm not saying it's their disadvantage. I'm saying that that is my advantage. Using other people's money to buy property, we go more into detail about that. How to find property investors, like you saw that clip that I played. Listen through my property deals, because I have to show you what I've been up to, right? Not just something that has been recorded at an event, right? There's just a whole lot more that you need to also know about me. And then we're going to find a property opportunity. We're going to do the calculations. And if it makes sense, we're going to call somebody. Can we already take action in the training room? Can I get a yes, yes, I've been here? Yes, yes. Wonderful stuff. And why teamwork makes the dream work. And here, very nicely, is I've put 3 very powerful bonuses together. If you decide that you are going forward with this training, bonus number 1 is for people that take action before Friday. Because once you take action and it's on Friday, then I'm able to send you your free tickets for the 19th and 20th. But if this is after Friday the 18th and you're looking at this video, I am so humbly sorry that you missed out this particular opportunity of going to the Property Buyers Show on the expense of FHC Consulting. The second bonus that I'm going to give is that from next week, Monday, which then is the 21st, between the 21st and the 25th of October, I will be doing all the personalized coaching sessions, preparing you for Saturday. Guys, I could have done this over Saturday and Sunday, but I know you need to rest. That's why I've got the pre-training. I've got this customized personal coaching so that we can talk on a one-on-one and we get to knowing each other, right? We're going to do it online on this very tool that I call Zoom. I've got a private meeting room. I'll send you a link. All you need to do is click it, put your password in, and you come through. What's going to happen is that this particular personal coaching session will be recorded. I will send you that recording by the end of our coaching session. Everything I upload to YouTube, which is called unlisted, and only the person that's got the link will be able to view the video. You can look at this and it be part of your memoirs, because you're going to look back and you're going to think, I had that idea. I've gone through coaching. I have now listened to the belief and failures and what it teaches us. I'm at the property 1-day boot camp, and all of the stuff that I've now learned, is that still true to my journey? That's what really it is just reminding you from whence you come. And last but certainly not least, another bonus entitled Property Entrepreneur. This is an ebook. I sourced this ebook from Daniel Taylor. He had written it, and I asked him, Daniel, could I get the master resale copyrights? And he says, absolutely. Jen, you can do that. And you can also get the private label rights for my book as well. So I paid for that. And he said, now that you've got the private label rights, add a flavor of who you are so that the people that you are wanting to bless with this book or sell this book to gets the essence of who you are. So I've had this wonderful opportunity of co-authoring a book with a perfect stranger that had so much of my simple thinking put down on paper. So this book, I spoke to my business coach and I said, please proofread it for me, because I know I've written books, whether there's spelling errors in there or not, as long as my people get the message, right? And she reins me in. And so I've put this book together just for you, because I know so many of those things that I've learned has put me into a powerful state of saying, I know what I am worth, and you too must know what you are worth. And training is done in an intimate environment. There's only 10 students. October is the last time that there'll be only 10 students. From the next time I decide to do this training, there will be no more than 20. 20 is then the cutoff, because I'm not going to do it multiple weekends. I'm only going to do it one Saturday from time to time. Okay? So training is done in an intimate environment. While you learning and we're having this conversation, I'm going to teach and I'm going to take care of your tummy. There'll be a light snack, and there'll be light snacks, light lunch and drinks, so that you can be hydrated, and also, have some things to nibble on, and do what you need to do without having to leave the environment, because sometimes when we leave, time goes and we're there after all for a boot camp, right? And last but certainly not least, that there is secured free parking, and the venue is in Sunninghill, the district in Johannesburg. However, the nitty-gritties of how to get into the training room and into the building will then be shared with you. Is that good or good, guys? Wonderful stuff. I've seen comments coming through. I'm so tempted to answer them. But again, we are 57 minutes in, and I really would like to close on the top of the hour. All of this, when I spoke to my coach, she said 11, 3, 6, 7. And then she says, so Jen, tell me, what crazy thing are you going to do with this? This is market research. This is my time that I've spent to come and give you this information. Please don't give it away for free like you are so used to doing. But I want to ask you this simple question. How much would you pay to get started the right way in investing in property? You see, in 2016, it was the start of our journey, and we had paid to date way over 100,000 for the education, the coaching that we've gotten. Imagine, we made a hustle to get to where we are. We made a hustle to do a lot of things. And you may be in a better situation and you may not need to make a hustle. One of my students said to me, Jen, I'm going to rob the bank. And do you know what? She came through my doors in training in May, and she's only going through coaching right now. So she was finding a way to win. So my question is, how are you going to find a way to win? Because I am meeting you halfway and saying, in as much as my coach told me 11, 3, 6, 3, 6, 7, I can't even get my head around that number. I have valued this, not even valued, well, it's valued at 11, 3, 6, 7. I should actually tell you that I've discounted it at, because this is not valued at 1997. This is discounted to 1997. So I'm going to go through these things very, very quickly and tell you how you can become a part of this movement. All of these key factors, belief and failures, what it teaches us, getting started in property investing fundamentals, passive income and active income streams, creative finance strategies, what it means to you using other people's money, how you're going to find your property investor, lessons through my deals, how can we find a deal together as a classroom. Guys, there's 10 of us. Well, 11 with me. All right. Pack this room out like the 19th has already been sold out. There is no more space for the 19th. The 19th, we're having it at a different venue, because a lot of the students that have come through said, Jen, can we organize the West Rand? The West Rand, don't worry, will also come for future. So this is the last Sunninghill venue that we are going to be using, okay? All of these things for you, discounted to 1997, valued at 11,367. How do you do it? How do you book your training for the 26th of October? You go to genevieve-jack.com/shop/. When you get in there, you are going to see the option. You click on learn more, and it will take you through to the details that you have just seen in the previous slide. And then you ultimately click buy, and so you can save your spot. The moment you save your spot, information is sent to me, and then I will be able to contact you and say, if you've bought these tickets by Friday, the 18th of October, here is your property buyer's show ticket. But if you bought it after that, that's the bonus that you eventually will miss out on. But you will get the bonuses of the ebook. You'll get the bonuses of having that structured, personalized coaching, recorded coaching that you can keep as a memoir for the longest time, right? And this is how you get this particular opportunity. So at this point, I want to say thank you so much for your time. It's an hour, some change, an hour, 1 minute already. And I want to say you are in the right place. Now, all you need to do is take action, and you will be one of 10 people already in this particular classroom for the 26th of October of 4 people, which then means there are 6 spots. I can't even lie about the scarcity about things. You will come into the class and you will be able to physically count 10 seats that are laid out, because their expectation would then be, if it's sold out, that there are 10 people. But of these 10 people, 4 people have booked. They are already getting messages from me to say coaching is in next week between Monday and Friday on Zoom. You're going to have it recorded. What action are you taking today? Imagine getting those tickets for the full weekend, the 19th and the 20th. What would it do for where you are? I want to say thank you so much for your time. Take good care. I love that you have stayed this long. You are awesome in your own right. Let's make magic together.